Hello, how are you, Startup Nation? I'm Ranjit Philip, your friendly startup advisor. It's dangerous to only have a vague idea about your startup's runway. And don't make the same mistakes that many founders do. So today I'm going to walk you through a formula for calculating your runway. Even if you don't have any revenues yet, we can still do that. But what is a runway? I mean, it's not a plane that's landing somewhere, right? It's almost like that. Runway is the amount of time before your startup runs out of money. So generally calculated in terms of months, runway usually consists of money in the bank divided by the monthly expenses or the burn rate. Now obviously you add in revenues if you're making that money as well. For example, if you have 100,000 in the bank right now and your monthly expenses are 10,000, it's straightforward. 100,000 divided by 10,000, you have 10 months of runway. All right, so let's now get into the details of how to calculate your runway. Let's assume you're pre-seed, and you're not making revenue yet. So it's kind of difficult to make the projections, but even predicting the next 6 months is impossible. But you can still calculate a range of your best and worst case scenarios and communicate those to your investors. So let's first start by calculating your net burn. So, and you should do two types of calculations here. One is a low end estimate, sort of an optimistic estimate. So what are all your costs in a typical month? This should include salaries, office rent, taxes, software subscriptions, other consistent expenses. And then there is a high end sort of expense rate. So this is what are the costs if you have the worst possible month in terms of expenses. Include all of the low end costs plus variable costs like legal fees or very high cloud, AWS charges, for example. Now you got your best case and worst case scenario for monthly burn. Great. Now let's calculate cash in hand. So in this scenario, in a low end scenario, what is your worst case revenue per month? If you're early stage and you're not making any money, then it's pretty much zero, right? High end, what is your best case revenue per month? So if you're already making consistent revenue every month, you can include this projected revenue in this calculation. So essentially, runway is low end revenue divided by high end costs. And these are things that I just talked to you about and how to calculate. So this formula isn't perfect by any means. This formula is meant to give you a conservative estimate on what would happen if you made no money and continue to have high costs. So that's the runway then. Now I hope this gave you an idea of what runway is. Follow me for more startup advice, and if you have any questions, drop it in the comment section. I'll try my best to get back to you.